Greetings, everybody. We're back. Now, after Kryon had me do something pretty darn scary, I think. Now he said, you know, you can talk about what I'd like you to talk about, and he doesn't really think the whole YouTube thing is you know, any good. He thinks it's stupid, but he does say in order for people to hear you, you have to be lighted correctly, and I have to try and figure that out. Basically, we're going to talk about what Kryon is, what he went through. Well, actually, alright, let's try this. You always know somebody's real if they're actually, half getting assassinated in the middle of conducting their videos. It's hysterical. Yeah, no, I'm not an actor. I wish I was an actor, people. Where to go? I wish I was an actor, okay? I wish I was an actor, but I'm not. This is like, reptilians would say, like, acting or playing a part, but, no, I am not acting. I really am actually a refugee of the kind of gray reptilian onslaught of my area, or the Silicon Valley area in general. Because we've got Chevron here, we've got so much stuff here, they had to kind of take over here. But, they couldn't keep Kryon under control, so let's, take a look at a little bit more, you know, what is Kryon? What does, well, what does he talk about? Well, I plug in the recording device, which is called my cell phone, which is also your telescreen, just so you know that that's real. The telescreen thing out of 1984, yeah, it's real. You are being watched out of your cell phone, whether you like it or think you are or not. You're being watched from your cell phone. The people who are doing it get watched from their cell phones too, except their cell phones are like chips and things in their bodies. But so Kryon, you can still kind of see this on the cover. Now, everyone with Kryon Book 12, which is super cool, indigo-looking, will be familiar with the activation symbol, which is Earth and the Merkaba, you know, in this drawing done. But if you had Book 12 here, and you went through what I went through and had carbon monoxide sprayed all over you, you see the book starts to change in the presence of some sort of chemical, as well as an energy. And you can see the diamond here, so clearly outlined. That's the prison system around the Earth, or it's called the Star of Aristhoth. You can go to this website called the Joy of Satan, joyofsatan.org, I believe. And I mean, that's how I found this stuff. Or if I have a fluorite, I can show you the actual shape of it, the three-dimensional shape. Prison system of what's going on. Where's our fluorite? Not fluoride, but the ite version. Ooh, dark, spooky. I know, fluoride's over. Yeah, we got it. Prison system of hell looks like this. Star. This is well, it symbolizes the star. It's supposed to be a star, is the idea. And that is what happens to Kryon's Book 12. See, here is your star idea. See the diamond. And this is that, the diamond, this is the hexagonal shape that we're talking about here. See, hexagon type thing. But it's a star. You've got the pyramid on the top. You know, everyone sees that pyramid everywhere. But then, see, you've also got pyramid on the bottom. So it's like Dante in Levels of Hell. And I got that from who? C.S. Lewis. And C.S. Lewis was saying, you know, I could get it, the screw tape letters. Again, everybody, preface to the 1961 edition is where he lets all this out. And it just says it. He is, you know, talking about how he took his ideas from a book called Journey to Arcturus, and that he's created, you know, this concept of hell, is that he works in a place that reminds him of an official society that he could make called hell. I mean, he's actually saying all of it just right there. And he makes some jokes like about angels. That the first time I read it, I thought he's calling an angel pernicious. But see, most people wouldn't know what pernicious means. Pernicious means bad. It's a nice, it's a very flowery way of saying bad or disgusting. Pernicious, like, get away from it, kind of thing. Or sinister is another thing. Another way you could say it. So he says these, so-and-so's Milton's depictions of angels or whoever artist are pernicious, and I'm like, but you're calling the angel pernicious. He's not calling the painting pernicious. He's actually calling the angel pernicious. And so I think, I keep on reading along, and Kryon saying, "Hey, make sure get back to me." But he's talking about Dante's, you know, levels of hell. So we've got our pyramid top, right? Once you join into the system, you join into this pyramid structure, and now that I've got this, you know, cool fluorite to actually show people what it looks like, that's kind of nice. So people are fighting to get to the top of the pyramid up here. When they die, there's kind of, you've seen, you know, stuff on YouTube about people dying and going to hell or whatever, and then coming back, or like, you know, things like that. It's a different dimensional area, but, you know, it's called hell because we are such intense creators that we create it. So if you think you're going to a hell, then you're going to go to a hell when you die. So, especially if, you know, if it's explained to you in some nice scientific way, too, you can make, you end up making that happen for yourself. And so, what C.S. Lewis is saying is he's saying, he's comparing his own book to Dante. And he's saying, you see, the certain analogies are the worst. And what he's really saying, as a reader, I could read it, and he's saying certain of these and certain analogies, they're the best. He was talking with this haughty kind of really arrogant tone, and I thought, why did I like this guy? I liked this. Everyone idolizes this guy, but in this preface, he's talking like an asshole. Like, he really was talking like a total dick, and I couldn't figure it out. But so he was drawing a comparison there, saying, "See, my book is supposed to draw on all you Christians, and it's really exactly what's happening to you at this moment, where you're being fed from these devils, and you're not really even going to understand that it's true or not. And by the time you do, well, it's already going to be over, and I'm going to be dead anyway, so, you know, who cares if I say it?" He died in 1963, so 1961, you know, it makes sense that at that time he was finally just saying everything. He was saying it in a way that you had to be either on the inside at that time to know that's what he was referencing, or you had to just be someone, and from a further generation who was really smart to put the two and two together. I don't think, before me, I think I was the first person to figure out that C.S. Lewis was an infiltrator to the Christian faith, that he was not a real Christian, ever, and that he was actually well, you'd call a scientific Satanist of some sort. But so that's where Kryon says, "I'm a scientific angel." Or, well, more specifically, it's like he's a blue Lyran. Let me go get what I drew. He finally said, "Why don't you draw a picture of me?" Now that I don't look green anymore. I kind of ended up screwing some of it up, but what did I end up with? Oh, yeah, it shimmers in the moonlight. Moon. Oh, wow, we've got the moon right above me. This is our Kryon character. That's what Kryon appears to look like. And it's like a blue... I'll take it inside. It's like a... It's a blue shimmery with a bright purple indigo-y aura. So it's like it's like a blue Lyran with an indigo blue Lyran or something is the idea. But see, there's some other stuff behind this guy, and he'll only say numbers to try and lead people to it. He'll say 11 and 33 and things like that to get people to try and put the 2 and 2 together. That's more in regular light, so you can see the more purpley aura sparkles around there. I tried to draw the eyes. See, it's just like white holes or something, but I couldn't get it on there right. So I just said okay, whatever. I'll figure it out later. Oh, and also angel artwork. I did this today. This was something given to me, but the number we used to wonder, what is this weird number on the bottom? And it's can we see it? It's 1066, and that's like your satanic kind of combination. Now, it might have been a coincidence that the person was doing that, but the universe tends to not ever be a coincidence. There is no such thing as a coincidence. So, say the person that molded that and made it, might not have been thinking, I'm trying to make this to murder somebody, but subconsciously, however, not subconsciously, but through the various push mechanisms. Push meaning literally like push the movie. Go watch Push the movie. And that this push concept might make more sense to you if you're still a person having trouble with the mind control idea. And it's literally like being the main character of Push, like the girl on the run who can influence people with her mind somehow. So I haven't figured out how to do the top, but the bottom is supposed to be like, so this is the shimmery purple, but you've also got the green there, so I did green and then put purple over it, and it's all like pearlescent all around the back. And I always thought, this plaster angel, it's just white and boring looking, and now that I paint stuff, Kryon won't tell me, I guess, what painter I was, but I guess I was a painter at one point. And also, somebody who tried to enslave me, who I was just talking about, made references to that, sort of. So I know I was a painter in some past life, but I don't know what. I don't know what the heck I was good at painting, but they keep referencing abstract art, so I'm going to start there. I must have been some abstract artist at one point. So what Kryon is, technically, is a blue Lyran. But, and what are blue Lyrans? Blue Lyrans are like what we think of as angels. And, well, we think of lots of things as angels. We think of Pleiadians as angels sometimes, too. It just, it just depends on how they come off and what we will see, what we will create. Because what we see is what we are creating with our own mind, our own perspective to do so. So what Kryon is going to seem different to different people, but everybody senses angel with Kryon. Oh no, Kryon, I got he wanted me to show the picture, and now I've got pastel over my hand. It's watercolor and dry pastel, because I didn't notice they were dry. I wanted oil pastel. Because when I was imprisoned, I'll show you guys the prison artwork. Was oil pastel and watercolor was what I had in there. That's what I realized, wait, I'm actually good at this somehow. So Kryon is a blue Lyran, and he's a very scientific kind of type, and in some way, so he won't say it, but he knows things about, he keeps on showing me the parallel Kryon, like the obvious Kryon, Metatron, Kryon, Metatron. I mean that there's distinct similarity there. But that something's different with Metatron. So he just, you know, he says the same thing I was thinking. Just look at it, but keep it at an arm's length. Like Bashar, look at it, but keep it at an arm's length. So Kryon was basically, and I'm saying this in this way because it's why I'm alive. I mean literally, my heart is beating and I am talking to you on YouTube right now because of this information. So that's the only reason that I believe it's true. So what happened here with Kryon? When you're attacked, what happens is the book starts to change. The book starts to transform. And actually, funny. Just now, when I re-examine the book, you see really funny stuff. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna somehow get a picture of this. All right, guys, let's figure this out. Now, in the book, alright, let's do this here. I had the pictures lined up. Now, in the book, when I was in the prison and stuff, now what's really frustrating is that some of the pictures have actually changed, but you can still find, some of them are still in here. When they're exposed to different chemicals or substances or, quote, spells, energy, basically, the pictures would change to make them look evil. Find... This was hard when I was looking for them originally, just before this. Oh, you can't quite see it in this one, but see, what they're doing is they're pulling the strands of DNA apart. And what I would realize in the prison, also the symbol, Kryon would keep telling me, look at the butterfly symbol. Doesn't that not look right to you? Look at the butterfly symbol, and look at my name written there. Look at the Kryon name. Doesn't something feel strange about it? And with the butterfly thing, I just thought, huh, reminds me of Silence of the Lambs, right? The reptilians think of butterfly, you know, they use a lot of butterfly imagery to represent how you're transforming from a human into a mindless robot. There is one, all the pictures in here, okay, here's one. This one still might have some of the semblance of what you see. There's also other, like, there's several pictures in there that are like this, but, see, this is really hard, okay, this is really hard to see. On here, what you just saw, you saw me draw that kind of blue Lyran look. Now look right here. Alright, see, there's a skull. And you don't, it's not there, see, look, it's a skull, there. You see the mouth opening, the black there, contrast. It's right here, guys. We're gonna see it. We're gonna see it, because I'm determined. I'm one determined little chick. Now, let me see. Oh, you guys could probably see the feet. Now, it looks like you're looking at this big, you know, blob image, right? But see there, you can see it actually much more clearly. This isn't that way normally when you buy the book, but once it's exposed to the carbon monoxide, or whatever the hell they push at it, you actually begin to see a skull emerge inside of this, and that's what I was seeing there, and you can only see the mouth here as the remnant of that. because now it's not being exposed to that anymore, so it's starting to disappear. Also, you can see underneath the feet. See the black there, the contrast? See, that's underneath the blue Lyran. You see, is this, they're making it almost like a skull, like a robot. And so you used to be able to see all the way up through it. And all the characters that looked like gray-colored blue Lyrans in this book, because, also, that reminds me, one of the pictures is black, and I think that has to do with a certain someone, and I thought to myself, Kryon's picture didn't used to be black. What happened? Because weird stuff happens when angels get involved. We've got one picture here of... Now, I'm going to save that black one for last, because that black one's cool. More DNA unraveling. Like, the idea is get people to think their DNA is breaking or something, when actually, they're going to save that one. That's best for last. When really it is not. Now, the other picture is a really interesting one, because you wonder, what the heck, wait, what is that? Because, see, people that are just familiar with Kryon could just feel blue Lyran off of it, or angelic, or Lyran, or something. Or just, you should see a picture of a guy that looks like that. But now look at this. Under the microscope, looking at the DNA, who's little and gray with a big head like that? Who could that be? Who is that staring at the DNA? Because it ain't us. I don't look like that. Humans don't look like that. What is that? But basically the point, see, behind the logo, Kryon kept saying, you know, look at it, look, there's something wrong with it, and I would see he would point out to me every single time this was in there, instead written like that, and he would tell me I would prefer to write my name that way, and I would think, what? You would prefer to write your name that way, but you're writing it. What? This was before he told me, you know, certain things. So he was a blue Lyran that's seeded into the reptilian race, or that's seeded into whatever you want to call the race that's underground, whatever they want to call themselves in whatever area, whatever. That's what apparently something like that happened. And he was, because remember, they're telepathic, and so, remember, you know, you've got me, the Arcturian, here, figuring random stuff out because I'm Arcturian. So if a Lyran goes into the reptilian race, they're going to be naturally way more telepathic than everybody else. They're going to know, hey, you guys killing each other, this isn't right. They're going to know all these different things, and so Kryon knew this, and it was like me. He told me they saw me coming, so they trapped me and enslaved me and tried to do as many things as possible as they could do to me. And this was really bizarre. I asked him, well, how did you do all of this then? How did you do it? And he said, you helped me. And I thought, what? That doesn't... I said, it doesn't make any sense. I didn't help you do anything. You're the one helping me stay alive. And he said, it'll make sense in time. But then he said, what I'll say is watching you fight. That was how I did it. Watching how you kept winning. That was how I did it. The best picture, speaking of that, watching you fight, and that is how I did it. The best picture, which did not, I swear, didn't used to be in this book, and or I was not paying attention in the 50 billion times that I read it. while literally imprisoned. Here's the picture. We've got a guy here, and we've got like Lear and Look, but totally black. It's not gray, like transparent, like the other ones were. And he's climbing up the DNA strand. And so, let's see, does it, in the light, can we see anything with this? Well, I drop everything in the process. No, he told me that was going to be a mystery already. That would be figured out. But a certain person with the color black might know that it could be meant for them. And that all that Kryon would say to me at first is the way that I did it was by watching you do it. To which I thought, that's impossible, because I don't know how to do anything, and I haven't done anything yet. What are you talking about? And he's talking about, you know, that how he sees time all at once. So, what he meant, you could say, is watching me now. Seeing the future, seeing that if I manage to hold my course, then all of this is going to come out of it, and I can endure this torture. It was like, at first, he refused to channel. So we've got book 1 here. And it totally does not sound like the Kryon out of book 12. Lee Carroll, remember? Same name that wrote Alice in Wonderland. Not same person, same name. Hello? Come on, guys. Wake up. Lee actually says that in books 2 through 11, he's paraphrasing. He's not really saying Kryon directly as Kryon says it. But so he says, but Kryon was planning, in this preface up to everything in this book, like about yay much of the book or so, or about half or so, he's talking about how Kryon was planning this to be like a big thing, or this 12th book. And if anyone knows about numerology, there'd be a reason for why, and with Kryon being who Kryon is, there would be a reason why he would like the number 12. So he ends up being a blue Lyrian inside of like reptilian torture. And in the beginning, you can kind of tell that he's talking like half robotic in here, or says stuff that he would never say in the books, other books, or a book like, say, book 12. The idea is that you can kind of sense the difference. So if Lee Carroll is saying, okay, I only really channeled Kryon in book 1 and book 12, and you read book 1 and you read book 12, it ain't the same Kryon. It is, but it's like that entity had managed to loose its bonds, that loose the chains that were holding it, and finally managed to break out. So, like, for example, here on the first page of book 1, in case you don't believe me, apparently this is 1995 edition, but the guy who originally owned it, like, wrote all over it, and so now he's not going to be able to sell it and get rich, because it's mine and I want it. So, he says, I have chosen this writer for several reasons, the main one being that he agreed to do this before he came in. He has a contract, but as any human, he can choose not to do this if he wants. He also intuitively knows that if he doesn't do this, now Kryon would not say this. If, the Kryon that we think of would not say this. This is his first book. He also intuitively knows that if he doesn't do this, I will probably keep him from sleeping for about 50 years. The reptilian ones will kind of understand that, like, not sleeping thing. They would make jokes, like when I was in the middle of intercepting the nuclear stuff, they were making these jokes before I got on the Facebook, Arcturians, Pleiadians, Atlanteans, Arcturians, Pleiadians, Syrians, Atlanteans. Before I got on that, they were making these jokes about, oh, are people having trouble sleeping at night? And I did not know that it was them doing it, so I said, oh, well, yes, I've been having trouble sleeping at night, but that's normal because of these different reasons, such and such. Now, I'm going to commence part 2, because we're going to go a little bit more in depth at Kryon, because Kryon is really cool. And, yeah, Kryon is cool. Alright.